If you are so bad at using Garou to the point you lose every time, then I recommend you watching this video. Because in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys by aspect on all the things you need to know to get better at using Garou. These tags might even help you get better to the point you can even beat pros. So let's jump in. Okay, pause for a minute. Before we actually jumped in, I just want to mention that not everything in this video was right. So if this tutorial has a bad education, please let me know. Okay, thank you. Let's for real jump in. Okay, so these are some of the pro tips that people use and probably not much of you guys knew. First off is delay M1s inside dash. This technique is extremely useful as it provides a longer range and a later reaction time. So this tag can easily catch people off guard. And as a matter of fact, this tag is very useful to penetrate your opponent's defense, as you were provided enough time to land a hit directly on your opponent's back. And the second technique people secretly uses, if you can't really penetrate your opponent's defense with a normal dash, then a back dash can do so. This tag is also very useful, as you will see many pro doing this, because it doesn't provide risks of being in a stunned animation, and it also gives a short time of immunity against M1s. And the third technique, it's very hard to do this, but what pros also love to do is countering normal dash with M1s. This thing is hard to do in short range, but if your reaction time is just in the right place, or you have a very good prediction, you can easily do this. And for the final technique that pro uses is very diabolical, as many pro players loves baiting opponent with normal dash and counter them. To do this, you have to be in just the right distance to not be in a stunned animation when your opponent is blocking. And as you are about to reach your opponent, you must immediately spam Pray Peril and it will counter them once they hit you. This technique works almost all the time, but it doesn't really work on people who has a PTSD against these kinds of stuff. But most of the times, if it fails, you will get countered. Okay, now we're talking about the problems you should fix. The first thing you should fix with your playstyle is definitely never waste your ragdoll cancel. You should never use your ragdoll cancel whenever you have it, as it could lead to a huge choke in gameplay and lead to a fast defeat. So what I really recommend is to use ragdoll cancel whenever you have the chance to. For example, if your opponent uppercuts you without being aware that you have ragdoll cancel, then that guy can easily be countered with ragdoll cancel. And I'm not saying that you should always do this, because yeah, there is a time where you have to use ragdoll cancel to avoid being dead. So just do it in times where it's necessary. And the second problem is you should never use this tag. This tag is extremely recommended and no one does this anymore, because this tag has so many flaws. First off, this tag can easily be countered with ragdoll cancel. Second, you can just down slam your opponent because it's way more efficient. And let's be real, if they can counter your down slam, it's probably because you're just too slow to down slam. And finally, the third reason, it's impossible to be done in a private server, because private server and public server for some reason has different types of physics, because in private server, entity collision is very common. So if you're dueling your friends in private server, this doesn't even work! And finally, the third problem. Please, never use Kyoto as your first batting starter move. It is so bad that your opponent can just easily counter it with Ragdoll Cancel. And besides, it's hard to land this combo. Some here probably can guarantee to land this hit, except for me, I barely can. But this thing is extremely a bad move, so don't! Okay, now that we are done with the tips and problems, we can finally move on to the texts you should use in your fights. These texts are extremely useful for your fights, so make sure to use all of these texts. And anyways, here are some of the best texts to use in 2026. Enjoy. Okay, now that we've reached to the end, I'm going to be showing you guys the example of how you should use it by fighting one of my friends that has 10 times more kills than me. Anyways, here is the fight. Without even my permission. Oh wait, no, he has one as well. Well, at least I can. Do it myself. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. To be honest, this isn't really everything that you need to know about Garou, since this video is not in its full version. It's probably has half of its feature done. So if this video gets 50 views, I will drop a part 2 and release a full completion of this tutorial. If you guys want to support me, you can subscribe and like the video. It's just your choice. So, peace out. Okay, mid-recording, one of my friends actually just joined my private server. It's like really embarrassing, I swear. Bro, I didn't thought he's gonna join my private server. You know how embarrassing this is? I was just trying to record, and this guy just joined out of the blue. Look, this is my alt-right over there. How do I chat with him? I cannot chat, bro. I cannot chat.